Welcome back to The Curious Yapper. I'm Madison, your host and favorite yapper. We've got 2 weeks to catch up on. It's been an adventure, and there were moments of going outside of my comfort zone, so let's recap it together. First and foremost, happy Pride Month. I think it's really important to pause and to celebrate people of all kinds of backgrounds, and I am proud of you for those who are living loudly their truest selves and those who are discovering themselves and their own confidence on a daily basis. So happy Pride Month. I do believe you should be prideful of who exactly you are 365 days a year. So glad to have a moment to pause and celebrate Pride Month, and also remember to be prideful for yourself and for those who identify in those groups. So happy Pride Month. Very proud of you. I hope that you chase all of your hopes and dreams, and I hope that society will get on board, because I'm on board with you. So happy Pride Month. Back to the recap of life the past 2 weeks. I was working for one and then took a week off for this past week, so I'll go through it. While I was working 2 weeks ago, on Monday, I got to catch up with one of my friends and we went paddling at the local lake after work. It's been a whole ordeal because I think I told you all that my pump was not working with my car, and I was like, well, I'm going with my friend, so I need this to work. I ordered 2 different pumps off of Amazon because I wasn't sure about the descriptions. They were supposed to be here before I paddled. They weren't here in time. So turns out my pump wasn't broken, but the outlet in my car was not working. Works on Evan's, so I stole Evan's car, went to the lake, got things pumped up before my friend arrived. It was toasty. I think we had made it into the mid-90s, which, whoa, getting wild here. So got to paddle with my friend. We have a kayak and we have a paddleboard, and my friend chose the kayak, and hilariously that was the wrong choice. So we made it probably 15 or so minutes before we realized that one of the sides of the kayak was starting to deflate. And we just decided, live, laugh, love, let's keep going. And so we did. And then by the time we were done, probably an hour and a half later, it was very deflated and probably unsafe because the kayak has 3 sections that I had. That one I had to do manual pump. But I was looking at the PSI and I knew I had done it well. Sore thought. Still need to figure out what's wrong with it. Anyways, it has 3 sections. It has 2 sides and then it has the bottom, and one of the sides was just deflating. And a year ago it was totally fine, so really don't know what happened. My sister used it was fine. Evan used it a little bit, but I do now vaguely remember that the last time Evan used it, it was deflating. So anyways, that was an adventure, and now we're laughing about it. And I said, I promise not to drown you if you come with me again. Also, in the future, if I go with a friend, I should probably take the kayak so they don't think I am trying to drown them. Anyways, it was a good time, got to catch up, and that friend is into camping, and I want to be into camping. I want to try the camping, and I was explaining that to him that, Evan, he knows me very well. He's not so sure that camping's gonna be my thing because I do love the outdoor stuff, but the first thing I do when I get home is shower because I don't like the feeling, the sensory of being not clean. So perhaps the camping thing, since I wouldn't be really showering, might not be the best. Who knows? But I told this friend that I would try anything once, and I do stand by that. I'll try anything once and then I'll make my opinion. So I'm down to try the camping thing, and I just, shared some of my particular things, and we'll just see how it goes. Anywho's, that was funny. We did survive the paddling adventure. The next day was more relaxed, went on a walk with Evan. I still love seeing all the different flowers as they bloom. We've got California poppies, the hydrangeas are starting to pop off, and pretty much every day we go on a walk, we are doing Google Lens to try to find out what the different things are. So that is always fun. Love to be outside, love the different trees. Evan's also sharing different knowledge with me as we go through. If it has just rained, you can smell the pine trees. It's just delightful. So anyways, that was on 2 weeks ago now, which is wild. Then the Wednesday of that week, Evan finished finals, yay, so he could breathe. I also that day went to a local farmer's market with my friend and was surprised when my favorite cookie lady was there. I got cookies. I think I picked out 5, but 2 are the same. So I got a lemon cookie, I got a strawberry Pop-Tart cookie, a s'mores cookie, and a classic chocolate chip with sea salt. Delicious. Always, as I like to do, bring them home, do little slivers of the cookies, and get to taste test and rank them with Evan. So that was really fun. And the next day, also went to the farmer's market with some of my teammates, and they do a local one on Thursdays. So we went there, and I got tamales, which were yummy, and also picked out 2 cookies. We got a peach cobbler cookie and then an Oreo cookie, and then my teammates and I taste tested. Again, I love doing taste tests with the cookies and with kind of any cookie, I guess. I love taste tests in general, so just give me lots of options and I'll tell you what I like best. And we taste tested it and we were split. Some people liked the Oreo. I liked the peach cobbler one best because I really enjoy a cookie that has the cinnamony or some like crumbly texture. I'm here for that, so I really like that peach one. Then we were packed and ready to head north for our vacation, and we made it up there. It was a clear day, so we could see all the mountains and all the beauty as we headed north. So beautiful, so crazy and wonderful that all this is accessible, and love it. Then the next day we woke up pretty early to head to the national park, and we went on a hike. There were not a lot of people as we were going to our destination. Paused to see the beautiful water of Diablo Lake, the beautiful mountains. We just kept stopping and taking pictures, and it was just so fun to share it with Evan. And we had made it to the end and hadn't really passed. I think we might have interacted with 2 people, but then on the way back, lots of people were starting to show up, and we made it. I think I had counted 18 to 19 groups of people, and so it was starting to be more trafficked as the day grew later. So still so beautiful. So that was only the beginning of the day. We did the hike, the beautiful hike. Then we went to the visitor center, and they had a sign that there was going to be a ranger talk, and so we had just made it in time. I stopped by the gift shop, got my playing cards that I love to collect, and then Evan was starting to look at the exhibits, and then I knew that it was getting closer to time for the presentation, and then I was starting to get anxious, like, we gotta get a good spot to go to Ranger Talk, Madison. Like, come on, it's okay. Anyways, we got to go out to the back patio for the Ranger Talk, and it was about fishers, and they started the presentation. Ranger James started the presentation and said, how many of you know what fishers are? And in my head, I was like, yeah, fish with the pole. Anyone who fishes with a pole, fisherman, fisherwoman, fisher person. So wrong. Evan and I talked about this after we left the Ranger Talk, but I had no idea what I was in store for. And about a couple times I was wrong. Anyway, a fisher is an animal, and it is, now was I paying attention fully? I totally was, but it feels like it's close to like the otter family, the beaver family, whatever kind of family we want to call that. I don't think I should call it rodent, but we're just talking about that kind of size of animal. Anyways, they have a really luxurious coat, and that's why they were hunted originally. And there's a difference between extinction and then regionally extinct. So these fishers animals existed up in Canada and I believe some other northern states of the US. However, they were hunted so much in the state of Washington that it became regionally extinct. So then there were large efforts that I believe took, was I retaining all the information? I believe it was like mid 2000s to early 2020s, like 2021, when they brought in about 200 plus animals to have them come back and repopulate the area, because diversity in the organisms and animals and trees and plants is really important for sustainability. So anyways, learned all about the fishers, got to touch different fur, learned different things. Was in for a wild ride, had no idea what a fisher was, so that was fun. I will always remember when Evan and I went to Olympic National Park and went to a Hoh Rainforest Ranger Talk. That was our first time ever, and it was so wonderful and learned so much, and I think pivotal for Evan. And anyways, we are appreciators of the national parks. Fund them. National parks are political. Vote for the right people in office. The current people are trying to take your public lands away. They're done. Anyways, so learn about the fishers. We love the national parks here. We love the greenery. We love trees. We love the environment. Elect officials that will protect the environment, because right now it's not looking good. Have you searched about the droughts in Colorado, the droughts in Utah, droughts all over the country? Not good. Water is necessary. It's looking bleak. Wow, didn't know I was going political. Yeah, it's important. Okay. Anyways, went to the Ranger Talk, did the visitor center, and then we drove and went to Diablo Lake Overlook. So beautiful. The color is just amazing. When we first arrived up here, Diablo Lake had been something I saw on TikTok, and it's always been on my list ever since. And I got to see the gorgeous blue water. It's real. Next time, I already wrote little tips for myself what I want to do next time. I want to bring the paddleboard. I want to go on Diablo Lake and touch the water, all those things. So it was a really great day. And then we finished it up getting some burgers. Evan found a good place. I got myself some sweet potato fries, got some ranch to dip it in. Delicious. So that was last Friday, over a week ago, which is crazy. Then the next day, we took a more chill day, in the sense of less physical activity. So we headed to the ferry that takes you from Anacortes to San Juan Island. And that was really fun because the ferry ride was about an hour or so. And yeah, got to be out, see the different islands, beautiful day. It was cold though. And then especially when because I wanted to stay outside, but we did have to go inside for a little bit. So that was really fun. Got to ride on the ferry. Next time we go, I will plan it a little better and figure out transportation for us, because we just walked on as passengers, because it's expensive to take your car and just logistics and having to reserve. And when you walk on, then you're fine and you don't have to plan that far in advance. Anyways, we made it to the island. We just walked through some of the shops. Kind of not my thing and really not Evan's thing. I think I'm a shop person, and I think I'm a little casual stroll person through the libraries and the bookstores. Library, yes. Bookstores, I'm not. We went into one that was just so overwhelming that they had so many boxes of books. I'm like, there's no organization, and oh. Anyways, I am not the little shoppy girl. I walked into a couple and I was like, ooh, walked immediately out. We found a little farmer's market. Wasn't even that cool. Anyways, it was still fun to be on the ferry. It's not a bust because we were by water seeing stuff we didn't know before, but we definitely didn't crush it. And there's things on that island we could have enjoyed for sure if I, figure out transportation next time. We did stop and do like the whale museum thing, and that was cool. Learned some stuff about that. Anywho's, then we made it back. Went back to the Airbnb, got some Little Caesars pizza. We were living life. It was great. It was very us. And then, also when we were on the island, we saw seaplanes. That was pretty cool. Got to see them take off and land. We also walked around the different docks and saw the boats, and so that was fun. We got to people watch. We got to see stuff. It was really nice. Got to look in the water. Got to see crabs. Got to see different stuff. It was a good time. I will just think about transportation a little bit more in advance. Then the next day was Cascades Park round 2. So beautiful. So beautiful. Oh my gosh. Went on a hike and you got to see the lake, got to see the mountains. We did eventually get to a spot where it was too snowy and we did not have the micro spikes and all that. But even the part that we did get to do, just so glorious. And I can't wait to do it in the fall when hopefully we time it where the larch trees turn their golden color and we can hike, and then we'll do the whole thing because the snow will be melted. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. Many times. It's fun. Evan really enjoys the photography. I do too. His phone is better than mine and I know he's gonna get great shots, so I just kind of coast along and let him stop and take the photos, and it's just so fun and kind of like a pinch me moment that all of this is in our state, it's accessible and beautiful, like just absolutely gorgeous. So proud of my body to be strong enough to take me to those places. Absolutely love it. Put me in nature, give me some snacks, get some water, like to see, but also to drink, stay hydrated. Anyways, it was just really pretty. Then we drove to another overlook to get another view of more mountains, and it was just very beautiful. This is also really funny. So for dinner, we went and got some barbecue, and I think it was that day or the day before we were talking about, yeah, we could totally be vegetarian because we're not even eating a lot of red meat anymore. We could get by on blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh. And then we devoured some barbecue. It's called something Texas something. It was a pound of brisket, chopped up brisket on a delicious bun, had some cheese, it had some jalapenos, delicious. And then we shared some like loaded fries that also had brisket, had cheese, like so good. So really funny that we said, oh, we could be vegetarian. And then we were just going to a barbecue place. Yum. That was a day also that was summer solstice. So beautiful. Our Airbnb had a balcony patio where you could see the lake, and it was really light. Also, when you travel farther north, it stays light longer. And so the sun didn't even set. I don't think it set until 9:15 or 9:30, but then it was still light outside until like 10 something. So I wanted to stay up so that I could say that I had been awake for the full solstice, and yeah, it was just so beautiful. And that was that day. Then it's Monday, so now this week, Monday, we're heading back home. I stopped and got a library card at one of the libraries because one of my friends in the game group, she says how cool it is that my town has reciprocal library cards. And one of her friends said that this library system has really great accessibility and availability on Libby. So I said, sign me up. I went, stopped in, got a library card, and Evan went and filled up for gas while I was doing that because I said it might take 15-20 minutes, wasn't sure. It took like 5, if that. The longest part of the process was me digging through all of their library card options to find the one I wanted. So anyways, did that, and so I was waiting for Evan. I was walking around the library. It was a smaller library, but I was walking around the library, found a little Father's Day word search, so I sat down, was doing that, and then all of a sudden Evan came and found me, like he was picking me up, and so that was funny. I said, but can I finish? And so I got to finish my word search. That was fun. And then we headed on the road to make it home, and then got home in time and unloaded, got the laundry going, all of that stuff. And I even got to go to puzzle group that night. So that was just really great. It was such a wonderful escape. Filled up our cups to go be in nature, go do hikes, move our bodies, and just break up the monotony of just kind of everyday life. And so it was so wonderful. So then Tuesday was our wedding anniversary. So Evan planned a day for us to go to the coast. So we went to the coast, went on a hike. He did all the planning of this, which was really nice. And I love the quality time together. So we did a hike on the coast. We hadn't been on that trail before. Then we went to the beach, and I told him if I could spend probably hours just sitting on the beach reading. It needs to be reading. I'm not just sitting and people watching for that long. I'm sitting and reading and just being outside, the wind, the ocean, all the things. And so after we did the hike, we had already walked on the beach. I said, I still want to just sit on the beach, please. So we did, and I got to finish. I think I might have finished. Maybe I just got to a certain page. I don't think I finished my book at that point. So once I made it to the page, maybe I made it to like page 200 or something. And we were bundled because it was windy and overcast. So got to sit on the beach and read. After that, we stopped and got a corn dog because we'd passed it before, the original corn dog. And then we made it back home. A couple hours later, hit traffic for sure. Oops. And then we got pizza for dinner. So yummy. Love that pizza place. So that was a great day. And very us. I felt it's good. I finished my book on the car ride home. It was The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. That was cool. Made me tear up at the end. And yeah, it was good. Good day for sure. Then the next day, Wednesday, we slept in, did some errands like groceries, and then we headed to get a sweet treat because we were planning to do that on our anniversary, but it was closed on Tuesday. So we went and got some pie and sweet treats. We chose chocolate chess pie, a lemon bar, and then a salted caramel brownie. It was so good. So far, we haven't had anything we don't like from this place, so it's delicious. And it was just really fun to do it together. Of course, also I did another taste test because I love doing the taste test. And I had already eaten my little bites and I was just waiting for Evan to get to the thing so I could have my opinions because I don't want to pollute his opinion. And then it was fun. So that was good day as well. Next day was another slow day on Thursday. Ran and did some more errands, did some returns, had to go to the post office for a return. And I have just been avoiding all of that because why not? It was also an Amazon Prime Day, so I hadn't used my paddleboard pumps yet. So I ordered the same one, but it was cheaper, $20 cheaper. And so I did a return and I kept the new. And after that, I also finished a book that was Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. And then by Thursday, I was starting to feel I could feel my brain starting to be mean to me about you're not doing anything, you're being lazy and all that. And that's an internal dialogue that I struggle with. And I had to be like, and I said that out loud to Evan. He said, we did stuff today and your body's allowed to rest. I was like, I know. So, hey, you're allowed to rest. We don't have to be mean to ourselves. I also had therapy that day. I think so. Anywho's. Did stuff. Point of that tangent was I know that routine is good for me. I'm not looking forward to getting back into my specific job tomorrow because it's just really fast. It's too fast-paced for me to have balance. I put everything into it to be able to perform at the level I do. And so I know I need routine and consistency, and so a job, I need that. I don't do well when I don't have something of a routine and predictability. However, I do know that what I'm currently doing is too much. So good to know. I don't know. Anywho's, I do look forward to some routine coming back. At the same time, I also experienced some seasons of depression when it was summertime when I was teaching. So I know this about myself. I need the routine, or I need something to look forward to, or an activity. Not having the structure, I don't do well in. And then I just have this mental list of all these things I should be doing, and it's just not, my brain is not always kind to me. So I'm working on it, and I am also looking forward to some consistency. So had that thought about Wednesday and Thursday this past week. Then on Friday, we slept in again. I don't remember if we walked or if, I'm pretty sure I read that. I totally read some that morning. Started reading a book from the library. And then we stopped and got a Costco pizza, ordered ahead this time, although picking it up was confusing at this spot. And then I also picked up a tuxedo cake because we were headed to go have lunch with Evan's cousins, and that was fun. We stayed way longer than we had anticipated. I think we were there for almost 6 hours, which was crazy. I thought we'd be there for maybe 2, maybe 3, and we were there for 6. Whoa. Really good to see them. We hadn't seen them since Christmas, which is 6 months ago.